Y'all know I like listening to that chorus part right there. This is your boy. Yes, yes. Hello, good evening, and greetings to all who've decided to tune into Man Up. That's men answering the need for understanding and purpose. I am your host, the overseer, Melvin C. Dawson Jr., and I am so glad that you've tuned in right here on the station that puts Jesus Christ first. That's WMBM AM 1490 radio station and media group. Listen, also a special hello to all of those who are watching me on Facebook Live, on my Facebook page, Pastor Melvin Dawson. I welcome you to hit the like button, hit the share button, and share the news that Man Up is on right now. Our vision is to provide guidance, support, and empowering encouragement that will inspire men to be all that God has called them to be. And so, y'all, week after week, we will continue to deal with various topics, from fatherhood to brotherhood, from boyhood to manhood, from Christianity to what my grandmama used to call plain old common sense, so that we can become better men in the hood that God has placed us in. Because if there's one thing that I am sure of, it's this. If ever there were a time that men needed to fulfill their God-ordained purpose in life, it is right now. And so it is our heartfelt prayer that those of you who've tuned in to this broadcast on this evening for 30 minutes of enlightenment, that you will be blessed. And when it's all said and done, you will man up. So women, call your husband, call your son, call your father, call your brother, call your cousins, and let them know that there's a talk show designed with them in mind. And as we chat, you are welcome to call in and share your thoughts about the topics that we discussed. The toll-free number right here is 1-888-599-9626. That's 1-888-599-9626. See, you don't even have to pay for the call. It's free. Kathy Moreland is watching on Facebook Live. Good evening, my sister. Listen, James Brown, the prophet James Brown, that is, the prophet James Brown says it like this. This is a man's world. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't mean nothing. No, it wouldn't mean nothing without a woman or a girl. He goes on with the verse, says, you see, man made the car to take us over the road, and man made the train to carry the heavy load, and man made the electric light to take us out of the dark, and man made the boat for the water like Noah made the ark. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't mean nothing without a woman or a girl. Well, I got my girl in the house with me on this evening. The lovely, the vivacious, the provocative, the electrifying, the one and the only, the cream in my coffee, the sugar in my red Kool-Aid, the love of my life. What Mr. Brown calls, is she a gooder? Yeah, she's a gooder. She is my rock. May I introduce to you the lovely Dr. K. Williams Dawson. Hey, baby, how you doing? There you go, MJ.
Hey, I'm doing well. Glad to be with you.
I'm so glad to have you with us. For those who, this is my show, but somebody's hitting already, talking about, hey, Sarah, Pastor K, look at that. Yeah, I know that's right. Listen, don't start that. Don't start that. Listen, I'm so grateful. Dr. K and I are actually on our way to Atlanta to share in the homegoing services of one of our friends. I'm speaking the eulogy on tomorrow in Atlanta. But I said, since we're riding together, I might as well introduce you and bring you and make you a part of our show on today. So although this is Man Up, we're going to do a little couples thing today, if y'all don't mind. I'm going to do a little couples thing today. So listen, women, if you're listening, call your husband, tell him to get on right now. He needs to listen. Men, if you're listening, call your wife and tell her to tune in to WMBM right now, 1490 AM radio station, because we're going to talk a little couples thing on today. Matter of fact, I want to call this, and MJ, even though I have Dr. K with me, you can still hang in there and chat with us. You'll be the questions for us. I got you. All right. Listen, we want to talk today about how to win as a team. That's what we want to talk about today. And this is important for men, because men, I've told you before that you were created to cover your woman, and the woman was created to complete her man with communication. You cover the woman with comfort. I see my good friend, Reverend Dr. Curtis Thomas of Homestead, Florida, sharing with us on the day. Listen. So we want to talk about how to win as a team. Don't forget, you're welcome to call in. How to win as a team. That number is 1-888-599-9626. How to win as a team. So, Dr. K, I looked up the word and I discovered that whenever you say the word team, you got to consider at least two concepts of that word team. First of all, there is team as a noun. Catherine says she's single, she'll exit left. No. Call your boyfriend, call your significant other. He can listen in. Listen. When you say the word team, there are two concepts. There's team as a noun, Dr. K, and then there's team as a verb. Let me explain the team as a noun, and then I'm going to ask you a question. I don't want to put you on the spot now, but I'm going to ask you a question. Dr. K is not just a doctor with an MDiv, but she also has a master's in marriage and family therapy. So I think she is an authority on some of this stuff that we're talking about today. So the noun, the word team as a noun, Dr. K, means a group of players forming one side in a competitive game or a competitive sport. Let me say that again. It's a group of players. And of course, if we're talking about marriages, it's the man and the woman. It's the two of them. It's the partners who are forming one side of this competitive game or sport. So when we consider marriages, Dr. K, we have to consider who is the opponent that we are competing against. Of course, in basketball, we're trying to score more points into our goal than the opponent. In football, we're trying to score across that touchdown line more than our opponent. If we're playing baseball, we're trying to get more hits and runs in than our opponent. Same thing with hockey and soccer, trying to get more goals, more pucks into the net, more balls into the net. So when you consider the opponent, the competitive opponent of our marriage, what would you consider is a competitive opponent or opponents that marriages have to see? And my good brother from my hometown, DeLand, Florida, Pastor Troy Bradley, who I understand is running for commissioner in the city of DeLand. I'm rooting you on, my brother. Dr. Troy Bradley is on the line. But tell me, what is our opponent? What would be the opponent of a marriage, of a couple?
Well, I want to use what the opponent has been to our marriage.
Okay.
If that's okay, and just be transparent. And this might be the same for some other couples that are listening or even watching on Facebook today. But for us, I think the opponents have been time, our own personal obligations,
okay, and
then at various times throughout our lives, our own health challenges.
I got you. So time, meaning because we're both career minded, we both have our careers, the time we have to put into our careers, do we have enough time for each other? So the opponent is time. Okay, I agree with that. All right, time. What was the other one?
Personal obligations.
Okay. Which also ties into whatever our career is.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever we've been called to, or whatever we think we want to do, those things that have been priorities in our lives personally that we believe has to be done. And then health, because both of us we've both faced health challenges at various times throughout our marriage.
Okay, and those health challenges that, although they're on the decline, they're like me, I'm still on medication. So I got to make sure I do what I do so I can stay here for you and get all I can get from you. You know, I understand. So I got you. So I'm wondering those who are out there today who are listening, who is the opponent for your marriage? Who is the opponent for you and your husband, for you and your wife? Who are the opponent? Because I believe it's important that you know who you're playing against. You know, if your marriage is playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, then you know they got Patrick Mahomes. You know they got they don't have the cheetah no more. We got that with the Dolphins, so they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore. But you know you got to be careful because he can throw that ball in several different ways. So you got to make sure that when you're playing him, you got your defense ready for the pass. And so listening audience, what is the opponent for your marriage? Well, Dr. K, that goes to the next definition, because not only is the word team a noun, the word team is also a verb. So the word team as a verb means to come together as a team, if you will, to achieve a common goal, to match or to coordinate with another. So to come together. So my question, now that I know what our opponent is, time, health, personal obligations, so what should our common goal be if we know who the opponent is?
Well, our goals would be to, first of all, take care of our health.
Okay.
To follow what we know to do is right, follow what our doctors have said, eat healthier, take time for rest, take time for exercise, and then prioritize those personal obligations that seem to be so important to us, and see how we can work and weave our time together in this scenario.
Okay, I like that. If you're listening today, you've identified who your opponent is, what your opponent is in your marriage. Now we've defined team as a verb to be able to come together with a common goal. So what are the common goals of your marriage? What are the common goals of your husband, of your wife? What are the common goals that you all have to achieve in order to defeat the opponent that is against your marriage? Well, Dr. K, that brings two more words, and as a preacher, you know I do have some points here, but that gives me two more words, two more ideas that come to mind when we talk about team, the noun, and team, the verb, and that is, first of all, teamwork. Yes, teamwork. The word teamwork means the process of working collaboratively with a group of people in order to achieve a goal. So you said our common goal is to make sure we stay healthy, to make sure that we put in the time, all of that. So now we got to work this thing collaboratively together. We got to do it together in order to achieve this goal. And then there's another question that comes to mind is, then what makes a team great? I'll let you elaborate, but I know for a fact that what makes a team great is a combination of solid leadership, communication, and the access to good resources that can contribute to a productive collaboration. But it all comes with us having to understand each other and work well together. And what I am of the opinion is, not every team needs a superstar to excel. So I'm not going to ask you to do anything that goes beyond your abilities, and I pray you do the same for me, because we don't have to be superstars to make our team work.
Right.
So what do you think about that? What makes a team great?
Well, I think what has made our team great, what has made our marriage great, is that we know each other. We play well off of each other. We know each other's strengths. We know each other's weaknesses. We know, and don't really even have to say it, but you know if I'm going to pass you the ball. I know if you're going to pass me the ball. I know if you're going to speak, or if this is something you want me to address. And then we support each other as a part of the team. Sometimes, we have to take a back seat. And that's okay. And then sometimes you might have to take a back seat, and that's okay. And we've have allowed each other to play well, and we play well together.
I think MJ has a question. You just said something that triggered him. Go ahead, MJ.
Pastor K, my question is, for those of us that are looking to join the team,
Mm-hmm.
what should we be looking for?
I think, through prayer and through what your interests are, We know spiritually that God has said that he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtains favor. And so, from that male perspective, if you have sought God and put before him what it is that your desires are, and what it is that you like, and what it is that you think will help to complete you and to help someone that's going to walk in agreement with you, and then look for that. And that, because to find it means you got to be looking for it. It doesn't mean it's just gonna, happenstance happen to you, but put an effort into it. And I would say that to take a stance and say that marriage is still strong, is still needed. It is the foundation of family, and that God still honors marriage. And so to just give a positive spin on marriage, because so many people, they don't even give a positive spin on marriage. But I can tell you it's good. It's a lot of work, but it's good.
Listen. We got others that are coming on Facebook Live. Glad to have you all. This is Man Up. Men answering the need for understanding purpose. And today, we got my girl in the house. The prophet James Brown says, this is a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. So I got my girl in the house with me on today, y'all who are listening. And we're talking about how to win as a team. So we've identified team as a noun, which is a group of players forming one side of a competitive game or sport. We've identified team as a verb that's coming together to achieve a common goal. We've talked about it's going to require teamwork, the process of working collaboratively with each other. And we've just said what makes the team great, a combination of communication and good resources and good leadership. And Dr. K says sometimes she leads, sometimes I lead, and it's like that. I always comically say that she used to be Melvin's wife,
right?
But she's become so popular now. I'm Kay's husband. I've lost my name, MJ. I don't even have a name anymore, man. I'm just that's Kay's husband. Like, I got a name, it is. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I was born a month and a half before she was. We're both 1963 babies, but I'm in March and she's in May. But I have lost my name, MJ. I'm now Kay's husband. But I didn't think I would lose my name. Listen, y'all, listen. The preacher in me suggests that I need to put a few points to this, because those who are listening, those who are married, those who are wanting to be married, those who are maybe struggling even right now in your marriage, and you're saying, okay, I got this team, but your statement said, how do we win as a team? So what I'm going to say, I'm going to use the word team as an acronym and ask Dr. K to kind of play off of what I'm saying, but I'm going to use the word team, the letters team, as an acronym, and I'm going to share what I believe are key points of being able to win as a team. And it's going to look like the flip side, because I'm going to literally be talking about what we ought to do to prevent the negative part, and hopefully that'll help. So here's the first letter, T, the letter T. And let me say this in about 3 quick minutes, because I still believe somebody wants to call today. This has been good. So first of all, T, if you're going to win as a team, I believe you got to take time out to recognize, to know the triggers, that's the T word, the triggers that can potentially cause a breach in the effectiveness of your team. Dr. K, you and I are working together, but there's some things that I might do that can upset you and throw you off balance, that we don't work well as a team. You've heard folks say, and I know you and I both counsel couples, you've heard couples say, she gets on my nerve, or he gets on my nerve. I can't stand when he does that. But you know what? Let's be honest. I think I know what I would do to get on your nerves. I think everybody knows the triggers, but if we're going to be a team that wins, we got to recognize how not to pull those triggers out, because it's going to cause a breach in our effectiveness. What do you say about that?
Right. So some people do know the triggers, and then some people don't know the triggers.
Okay.
And I would say for people that constantly trigger each other, that you need to talk about, that you need to have an open conversation and say, hey, when you do this, this is the response that you get. And so for us, I know for me to be on my cell phone, that is a trigger. When we get ready to go to Atlanta, I'm going to just put my phone in my purse and leave it there. Because I know you're going to be wanting to talk and wanting to be singing and carrying on. And this is quality time for us. And so I know for me to do anything else, it's going to trigger you. So that's just being disrespectful. I'm no longer completing you at that point.
I like that. We might, MJ, I might even stop by the mall and pick up something for just
Come
that,
on,
man.
hey.
I might do that. No phone. I tell you what, if you can have no phone from the time we leave here to the time we get to Broward County, I'm gonna stop by the mall and pick you up something.
God.
I don't know y'all. That's 30 minutes. That's 30 minutes.
I work from my phone. Just let me say that.
Okay. Anything other than a work call. I'm anything but a work call. Listen, the letter E. I believe if your team is going to win, if you and your husband, if you and your wife are going to win, not only should you take time to recognize the triggers, and Dr. K says, even if you don't know what they are, then be open to have a conversation about that. But E, I believe you got to understand the evolutions of marital expectations. Did you hear what I said? I'm preaching now. Where's the organist? Where is the organist? I could have hooped right there. You got to understand the evolutions of marital expectations. What I mean by that, MJ, is that, listen, what you and your wife do in the first year and what y'all do in the 5th year and what y'all do in the 10th year, that thing changes. And so she might not want barbecue chips no more. She might want barbecue French fries. You know what I'm saying? She may want another potato. You know, she may have now moved to the whole baked potato fully loaded. And you still trying to give her French fries. You got to know, as the game is being played, as you matriculate in your marriage, as you grow in your marriage, there's an evolution of your marital expectations. Your wife, your husband may look for something else. And if you're going to win in the game, you got to continue to improve. What do you say about that, Dr. K?
Very quickly, I would just say also to be mindful that evolution, or to evolve, can be a slow process. Evolution is not revolution. Revolution happens quick. You notice it, you can see it. It's televised. But the evolution, that's normally a slow process, and things can happen and you not notice if you don't pay attention.
Is there a doctor in the house? I like that. Evolution is not revolution. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. I got the A is a good one. Here it is. You have to affectionately allow. We're talking about winning as a team. You have to affectionately allow time. Watch this, y'all. For rest and regrouping from the pace of the game. Now, anybody who knows anything about sports knows that just about every sport has a quarter, has a halftime, has a timeout period, has a place to trace it. And you can't work your marriage 24/7. Y'all can't be in this game, in this battle against this opponent all the time. When will you take some time to rest from the monotony of what you face? Help me out, Dr. K.
Yeah, you got to take a time out. And sometimes the coach calls a timeout. That means you may not even know that you need to rest. Or you might not can discern that the opponent is getting the best of you. So sometimes you might have to call the timeout, or sometimes I might have to call the timeout. And then we take a break.
Okay. And the timeout could be, hey babe, let's go get some coffee. Let's go do something.
Yeah.
All right. I got you. Well, here's the M. And I'm still looking for somebody to call. I know you're listening. I keep seeing the Facebook thing pop up and see the hearts and all that. So here's the last. Watch one. Here's a good one. Where's the organist? Here's a good one. M. Manage. If you're gonna win. If you're gonna win. Manage your own part in the game, and do not micromanage your teammate. So I gotta do what I do as a husband, but I can't do what she does as a wife. And I can't try to control her to be a wife. I can't make her be the wife. I have to let her play the game as God has allowed her to play the game, and she allows me. You can't micromanage your marriage. There are too many people. You know, your wife can't go outside to go around the corner, and in 30 seconds you calling her and asking her where is she? She just left the house, dude. Woman, you can't be calling, you know, your man that just got off at 6, and you know he's an hour from your house, and if he gets there an hour and 10 minutes, you can't be bugging him at the hour. You do know we live in South Florida, and there is traffic, and there are accidents and all of that. You cannot micromanage your marriage. Talk to me, Dr. K. You the professor.
You can't. He can't be going through his phone, through his pockets, and going through my purse and all of that. You've got to manage your own life. We are accountable as individuals, although we've come together as one. At the end of the day, we're going to both stand before God, but we're going to stand separately. And he's going to hold me accountable for the wife that I've been. He's going to hold you accountable for the husband you've been. We just want to hear him say, well done.
My. Listen, our time is about up for the day, but I've enjoyed it. MJ, got anything to say, man? Was it good? Listen, y'all, tune in next week. Share with us. I'm so glad that I had the good doctor, the Dr. Anita K. Williams Dawson with me on today, the senior pastor of Cathedral of Praise Church in West Perrine, Florida. We're so grateful to have you, Dr. K. Thank you so very much for sharing with us. and I hope to see you. I will see you as we travel to Atlanta. God bless y'all. Hey, tune in next week, 6 o'clock, same time. I got to add an hour. I got to add 30 more minutes. I got to find me some more money. I got to find some money. See y'all. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Facebook, for checking us out. Enjoyed it so very much. See you real soon. Bye-bye.